I saw this comment. We're talking about The Last of Us Part 2, or The Last of Us Complete Edition, right? And I said, this is the problem that we're seeing. Xbox has now basically toppled PlayStation in content delivery. There's just no doubt about it. Then this person replied and said, what games is there for Xbox? And I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't even bother doing this. Well, I'm perusing Twitter and I see a meme. And, who did this, man? And the meme basically reminded me of this comment. And I was like, man, this whole thing just sometimes get out of hand. Now, yes, this meme, as much as you may want to, either laugh or show disgust at it, underneath it is the data. It's a data-driven meme. I don't think I've seen many of these so accurate in a sense. I mean, just think about it, right? Just think about it. Somebody took their time, with some AI generated photo or some picture somewhere, and they went ahead and they put Phil Spencer and they put, PlayStation fanboys and such, and then underneath it, they show the pre-order numbers, they show the pre-order data for PlayStation Store. And the top pre-orders, and it's looking really Xboxy over there. What we're going to do is, in all fairness, we're going to go to the PlayStation Store. Okay? We're going to see what's going on with the pre-order numbers. Now, there's a reason I'm saying, let's go ahead and take a look, right? Because if we can take a look and see, what in the heck is going on with this PlayStation Store, right? We can pretty much get a sense of what okay, what it looks like. And yeah, that is looking very Xboxy. Now, is this gonna be the theme every time? I doubt it, but you never know. Depends on the frequency and the cadence with which Xbox brings its games to PlayStation. I'm not necessarily certain. This might just be one of those one-off things. But from the way I'm seeing it, man, it's like they're locked and loaded with even more content when this cycle passes to deliver a lot more. I mean, think about a game like South of Midnight and Avowed. They're just sitting on the Xbox platform right now, right? Think about Starfield. Just sitting on Xbox's platform. At any time that PlayStation decides it's going to launch a game, they can take 3 games and encircle that PlayStation game. I don't know. I think this is a real strange, strategy. But it's one that seems really effective to me. So when this audience member asked and said, what games are there for Xbox? It's weird that you actually have to then go to the PlayStation side and say, hey, are you not seeing it? It's this Xbox game that PlayStation fans or PlayStation users are looking forward to. And this is not just the Indiana Jones and the Forza one. There's Doom on the back end of that. And then there's a Tony Hawk's game that's at the back end of that as well. So when we look at, say, PlayStation's business right now, and we look at the position that they've put themselves in the last few years, I can say that they might have underestimated what Microsoft's intent for gaming would transform into. Because no one would have seen that Microsoft would take the software approach. Not true. They're a software company. Sorry, I dropped something. They're a software company. So that might have been in play all that while. In fact, what's crazy is they were slowly and carefully gathering the amount of what I think will be appropriate, small scale studios to be able to do big things when it came down to it. Oh, I didn't even mention Hellblade, Senua's Saga. Ooh, that's also another one that might be locked and loaded too, waiting, because there are people who played the first one on their PlayStation at the time, who may be looking forward to play the other one, but are not, interested in buying another console to do so. And if they decide, they have 3 to 4 games at any time, locked and loaded, ready to go over to PlayStation should they choose. To me, this is where I think the business and the money actually is. And if we actually pop open, like, say, the Xbox, store, or, what Xbox is doing in this regard, that's where things actually get very interesting, right? Because this is where you can now come to, the Xbox Game Studios games, and you can now come out here and pick and choose what, will be going over there. And as they're also looking forward to other titles that are probably going to be coming, in their and being added to their library, it starts to get interesting at the end of the day. I didn't even mention Flight Simulator. Goodness. So if you're asking at this moment in time, I mean, if someone is genuinely, wanting to know what games are there for Xbox, I'd say just look on PlayStation Store. Simple. Right? And you'll be able to play these Xbox games. Because if you had said, oh, you got to go buy the console and blah, 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 they'd say, well, I don't want to buy a console because I don't think these games are actually pretty good. That's the excuse that they would give you. But now you don't have to worry or argue. Just go look on PlayStation Store and look at the top pre-orders. Because this thing speaks by itself to exactly what's going on, which is why I told you that this meme is a data-driven meme. It's a meme that shows, maybe not in this very, exaggerated, picturesque terms, that somewhere, somehow, that there are people who are on PlayStation, a good number of them, significant number of them, actually, who want to play these Xbox games. I don't know how else I can interpret it. I mean, like, I'm looking at it. I mean, are you looking at what I'm looking at? Is everybody seeing what I'm seeing? And if you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing, then you already know, you know where this stuff is going. So to talk about console sales and such, I think that particular metric has finally melted from the ears of a lot of people. It really did melt because a lot of people kind of said, okay, we looked at the Q4 data last year and we saw all these consoles, but then now we're basically, ending, we've ended Q1 in the year itself. Their fiscal year is going to be different, but we've ended Q1 the year itself, and people are asking and saying, what games are there for PlayStation? And truly, when you ask the question, you're like, you know what? We're not really certain. Because all the talking has been going on, and when I look at this list, even when I look at, take a glance and look deeper and say, oh, that's Death Stranding, PlayStation fans literally told me that Kojima bought this thing from PlayStation, and it belongs to him now. So PlayStation is basically telling me that, PlayStation fans are basically telling me that there are just no games that are coming out until the Lost Soul Aside game finally makes its way and shows up. It's a very interesting year and a very interesting contrast. And for somebody to have asked me that question is either the person was trying to troll me or they probably don't know what the gaming scene has become just now. That the whole script is flipped. As much as people have said, oh, you look at these games. Do y'all remember when people were laughing at Indiana Jones' sales on Xbox? Do y'all remember that? Do you know what I told? I said, guys, Indiana Jones isn't out yet. It's just been basically in early access. I said, y'all got to realize that this particular game, man, is going to pretty much launch on PlayStation, and PlayStation fans we're going to see what they're about. And man, PlayStation fans are coming out and showing exactly what they're about. They seem like they want to buy this game. Not only this game, but Forza as well. A very interesting turn of events. So, Team First 303, shout out to you. Thanks so much for the comment. I'm glad we were able to go ahead and find an answer for you. And perhaps if you have maybe any more further questions of a similar nature, you can always come to the PlayStation Store and perhaps it will answer it for you. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace out.